We're just now walking into a boiler plant room. This is for a traditional hotel, and first thing we're going to notice is that we have an issue with a leak, and this leak has actually been happening for the last couple of months, and it's been identified from coming from the boiler itself, and however they can't get the part for it. The maintenance manager hasn't had the opportunity to really chase this, but now he understands the full extent of the cost of this. So we talk about the 3 levels of cost. We're paying to use the water, we're paying to put that water back down the sewer, and we're actually paying to heat the water. And in some cases this could be a hard water area, and we could be paying to treat the water as well. So there's 4 elements to the cost here. So that really is now going to put the focus back on getting this contractor to come back in and repair it. As you can see, there's some significant waste there. If we was to check the temperature of that water, there will be the heat obviously from that. The next thing we're going to look at is the control panel. Now, on face value of the control panel, when we look at the switches, all the switches have been placed into auto, which you would expect that to be perfect. However, when we come down and look at this control, the BMS control, it's quite an old controller. It's a Satchel climate control system, and when we go into the panel, you can see that this display unit is actually flashing, and then when you look down, you'll see a switch on this panel, and it actually says auto, but we can see that it's not in auto, it's in auto plus. So if you was to flip that switch back, you'll notice the screen now is not flashing. So we can only presume that this unit is actually in hand. When speaking to the maintenance manager, he's no idea of how that's been programmed, no idea how it works. So there's obviously an issue with that control panel. Now we're not going to leave that in auto, we're going to flip that back into hand, because obviously we do not want to make a problem for the maintenance manager going forward. Another observation we noticed on here, yes, everything's all facing in the right direction, which is something I would recommend. However, when we look at this control here, boiler control selector, timed or constant. So we can see here it's actually in the constant section, and it always makes me smile when I see these little pen marks to tell people where they should be. But for me, again, this is an issue that we haven't got the boiler control selector on a timed, it's constant. The other telltale issue we have is we have 3 boilers here, okay, and on the panel there's nothing to say how these boilers run. Now they should be sequenced, and we should expect that possibly one of these boilers here would be the lead. So let's take number 1 boiler as being the lead boiler. That would come on. If it can't maintain the temperature, the second boiler would come on. If both boilers cannot maintain the temperature, the third boiler would come on. However, after speaking to the maintenance manager, he tells us that all 3 boilers run all the time at the same time. So we obviously have a problem regarding the control of this. The next question I want to raise here as well is we have 3 boilers. So we have 2 boilers that are similar, and then we have a smaller boiler which would be classed as our summer boiler. Now in the winter I would expect this boiler to be shut down and then just running on these 2 boilers. These 2 boilers possibly could maintain the building temperature, and then you would use this 3rd boiler just for the summer when we're only using the hot water. Now, further observations, we actually found that the most of the temperature provided within this building is from AC units and from heat pumps, and not from a wet system. The wet system provides corridor heating and hot water, domestic hot water. Our last observation within here is the lagging, and you can see there's loads of areas for lagging opportunities to be replaced. We've got valve wraps that could be put in there to be extended, plenty of valves that haven't been lagged, and we've got areas where we've got no lagging at all. We've done some repair work, and you can see this is a typical example where they've replaced a pump here for a more efficient pump, which is great, but the new pipe work hasn't been lagged. Okay, and that was the original pipe work, and the pump that originally was sitting there. So we would actually see the same pump on there. I did say that was the last reference point, but there's other points regarding if we was investing in this plant room, we could change these pumps to be more of a direct pump like this one here. So all these pumps could be revised and changed. And then as we're walking out the plant room, we just had to highlight this area where we've got a very unlagged hot water cylinder.